from him. And
You
also,
know the kind of,
again,
yeah, you know the kind of hypocrisy though, Candice, which really gets my goat with this. Take somebody like John Legend, right, who decided to rewrite the lyrics to "Baby It's Cold Outside" because it endorsed sexual misconduct, which obviously was completely preposterous. It's one of the most innocent, flirtatious videos ever made, back in the 60s, about a beautiful love song. And it was completely misappropriated by Legend.
No, it was rapey. Knock it off.
It's not rapey at
Come
all.
on, Piers.
Baby, it's cold. Do you want to come in for a drink? It's cold outside. Do me a favour. And anyway, and even if you
keeps saying no, and he keeps trying to get inside.
it was
on, Piers.
harmless flirtation, which completely misconstrued deliberately by John Legend to tick all the right virtue signaling boxes. But here's my point: what has John Legend said about?
Testify to that in court?
What has John Legend said about P. Diddy? He was enraged
Absolutely
by a
nothing.
1950s video of harmless flirtation, so much so he rewrote the lyrics, Candice, but he's not enraged enough by what he's reading about P. Diddy, someone he knows well, to make any comment that I've seen so far.
Right. And that is the reason why people can't stand the Hollywood types, and rightfully so. I mean, John Legend has always been a walking contradiction. He speaks often, oh, yes, the bullying of this cute Christmas song that everybody loves, and I'm still going to play the original lyrics forever. But his wife is sliding into the DMs notoriously of teenagers and telling them they should kill themselves and offering like this small apology, like, I'm really going to take some time off and think about this. So you married a bully. You have been at so many parties, friends with these people. You constantly purport that you're fighting for social justice on every cause. Like I said, the real litmus test was the video, which Diddy owned. That was him beating Cassie on tape. Okay, so forget if you're like, you want to play the card of, well, it's innocent until proven guilty. I know people are making all these allegations, but I'm going to wait. Where were you on the topic of Cassie being beat to a pulp on camera and Diddy offering this little meandering apology about that?
Let me respond to that, because
I would just like to finish, if you don't mind. You're allowed to. We don't seem like doesn't seem like there's a buzzer here, so I think I can finish my thought. But you know, and that's what has become so problematic, is they are constantly virtue signaling to the public about how great they are because they're not voting for Donald Trump. Donald Trump's such an awful person because he maybe cheated on his wife 16, 20, 30 years ago, whatever it is. And they just cannot muster that same energy when they are looking at proof, which somebody comes out and says, has to take full accountability. I did beat her. That's me. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Okay, Mark?
So here's my response. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, Candice. Again, there's a sound delay. I thought you had paused. I wasn't trying to be rude. Forgive me. We're saying that John Legend didn't respond to Cassie or to the Diddy parties, and we're saying this as if it's true, but it's not true. And so I just want to read to you what John Legend actually said in response to this. And he said it months and months ago. He said, I was horrified by the descriptions that I read before the video evidence came out, meaning he believed Cassie even before the video. He then said, and absolutely it's something that needs to be brought to light when it happens. He said, my default stance is to believe women when they make these accusations and to make sure that we do whatever we can to support women. He also said that he was specifically horrified of this. And then he said, regarding to the other Diddy stuff, he said what he's accused of is shameful. And he said all the other victims that have alleged that he's abused them, it's quite a shame for them too. I really just want accountability and healing. So I think this is an opportunity for us to say this is why we shouldn't jump to judgment. We're on international television castigating John Legend for not doing the very thing that he actually did. Then all I had to do was type John Legend Diddy and it came up first. So you guys owe John Legend an apology if you don't edit this.
Yeah, okay, so here's what I would say to that. It's right that you've pointed that out. My understanding is that were comments he made back in May, not since we've had the raft of charges against Diddy, which is what I'm talking about. So there's been nothing. It's been a deafening wall of silence since the charges. That's what I'm talking about.
We were just talking about Cassie. We specifically just said he didn't say anything about Cassie.
No, I think, look, Candice was talking about Cassie. He clearly did make a statement in referring to that, and that should be acknowledged. So that's fair enough to point that out.
I actually did not see the statement that he made about Cassie and read it in its entirety. So if I missed that, I'm more than happy to own it. I did not see him make a statement. And typically when he makes a statement, it's everywhere. So I guess they just hadn't picked up on what he said about Cassie, and he did great. I'm glad that he's one person in Hollywood who said something, because that was the most troubling for me with LeBron James. I'm like, we actually have video evidence of this. Like, everybody should be saying something about this if you purport to care about women. And him and Chrissy Teigen are typically very loud on topic, his wife especially. So if I missed that and he said something about Cassie, good for John Legend. That makes he and I are on the exact same side on that. But it's not enough that it's just John Legend. Like, there needs to be a lot more people in Hollywood that are speaking out about what's happening.